Hey there, Jed Coburnus here from JedCoburnus.com, and this is Talk Therapy, essentially where I just talk out loud, talk through a lot of things where it is, the first 10 minutes is me versus my ego, the second 10 minutes is me with my ego, and the third 10 minutes is just me. And it's just so funny because it always works out like that. And these sessions just help me so much talk through some things that I just have in my mind, and to get rid of these stigmas, everything that is in this crazy thing that I call my mind, right? Like the ADHD, the randomness that happens, the judgments that happen, the works, and I just have really grown fond of like just talking, right? Just talking it out, just letting it all out, and just putting it out there to whomever would listen, and whoever would whatever, right? I mean, it really just comes down to what's going on, and anytime I think I'm figuring it out to say, anytime that I pause or go, like that's my ego in my head going, whoa, right? Make sure you say the right thing, because you don't want to say the wrong thing, right? And I'm figuring that out. So it's when you start talking from your heart center, when you start talking from your heart, there is no real pause. There is no right? So you're just so worried about talking, saying the wrong thing right there, right? So right there it was, which is a little bit of a pause going, well, I don't know what I was going to say, but that's where it comes from, is your ego, that second voice in your head that tells you, oh my gosh, right? Like, am I gonna say the wrong thing right here or no? So that's where it is, and it's just practicing. It's just practicing talking out loud. Kyle Cease says it a lot, or he has this, check him out, Kyle Cease, Cease. He definitely has it to where he calls it evolving out loud, and I just really feel like that's what I'm doing each and every day. In the last 3 days, I have committed to 30 minutes, right? 30 minutes of just full talk therapy, full evolving out loud, and it has turned into something that's pretty incredible. Day 3 yesterday was a bit of a struggle, which happens, right? I mean, it just happens that's how it works. But today, there's a little bit of premeditated topic, but who knows where it can go, who knows what can happen. But what's really laid in my heart pretty heavy is my ability to meet people where they're at, or at least to accept people where they're at in their journey. Recently I've had just some revelations, be revealed to me. A good friend of mine, Lisa Ruth, she has really, just something she said has really hit me. So basically, it comes down to me accepting people where they're at, and having the ability to right there's my ego, right? There's my ego just butting in. Get out of here, right? I mean, it's just the ability to, man alive, seriously, what's going on here? The ability to accept people where they're at, meaning if they're still in a negative spot, a negative place, the tools that have been taught to me is to become a human backhoe and lift them up, right? But at the same time, it's a double-edged sword, because you can be a human backhoe for people all day long, and and love doing that if that's what you want to do, if that's what you love to do. But there comes to a point in life where, okay, so being a human backhoe, does that mean every time you talk to somebody that you have to be a human backhoe? Like, every time? And that gets draining, that gets old, that gets annoying, that gets, that just sucks. Like, why would you want to continue to talk to somebody if you had to keep being this human backhoe, is lifting them up every time, right? Like lifting the junk off of them and dumping it over dumping it on the pile, and then at the same time you're lifting them up and they feel better. But is that every time? Like, if you have a relationship with a person, I'm not talking like relationship as in like boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever. Like, I'm talking just relationship, like friendship, like, being able to get to know somebody else. That's what I'm talking about. And like, if you have that relationship with somebody and all you do, like literally all you do is you're just talking to them and always having to be this person of, you got to lift their stuff off. Like, it's got to be a two-way street. It's got to be a two-way relationship. Now, is it always like that? No, right? Like, it is always like that. Not at all. Not at all. But, I mean, if you're always sitting there and going and I don't know. I mean, and I love that I don't know, because it comes down to a relationship is time, right? Like, I give my time to people now that make me expand, not make me contract, right? So if you help me expand, if you make me feel like I can grow at a rapid pace, not even rapid, but if you make me feel like I can grow, and and vice versa, then I'm probably paying you a lot of attention. And I like the way that sounds, pay attention. My dad said it all the time growing up. You got to pay attention. And it really makes sense to me now, because you pay attention. You pay somebody your attention, which your attention is time, and time is money. So if you see, and I'm not talking like I'm greedy and money, right? I'm just saying, like, it comes down to, if you pay somebody attention, your attention, and your attention is time, and time is money, then that's what you're actually paying them. Okay? So I'm going to be around people that make me expand, not people that make me contract. Now, the difference here is there are people in my life where see right there's my ego, right? There's my ego. I butted in there for a moment. So the point is to be around people that make me expand. So there's going to be people in my life where I'm just going to have to accept them for where they're at. I'm going to have to accept them for where they're at, because it gets down to the point of right, there's ego again, get out of here, right? It gets down to the point of being a butterfly, right? If you're a butterfly hanging with caterpillars, you're only grounded, you're grounded for life. If you're a butterfly hanging with caterpillars, how are you expected to fly, right? But if there's caterpillars around you, there's a few caterpillars in life where you just, you're gonna have to find a way to accept the caterpillars for where they're at. Now, you don't have to tell them every single detail and give away all of your business, and not give away, but like, and just, but you do have to kind of accept them and be with them and understand that. So that is really the essence of what I mean by accepting you for where you are at. And I'm working on that, right? Like, I definitely am working on that, and it's becoming very apparent to me that I'm working on what that means and who I pay my attention to. Because you're going to put your attention somewhere. I'm going to put my attention somewhere. And from now on, I'm only going to give my attention to those who make me expand. And if I'm giving attention to those who don't, then it just means that, it's okay. Like, I've accepted them for where they're at on their journey, and it's okay. But don't expect too much to happen, right? Don't expect too much to happen if you're only staying right as a caterpillar, right? If you're staying as a caterpillar, increase your awareness to that. A good resource for that is Kyle Cease. Just look him up on YouTube, start watching everything that the guy is doing, and he will help you for free, because it's YouTube. YouTube is free. He will help you for free to expand your awareness, to increase your awareness, to help you expand instead of contract. The dude's got it. The dude's got it figured out. That's where this comes from. That's where this entire talk therapy, like he calls it evolving out loud, I call it talk therapy because it is like therapy to me. His entire process to me is like therapy. Something that I needed to do and in continuing to do even after I quote unquote don't need to do it anymore. I'm still doing it because there's value there for me. It helps me so much realize what I want to do, what I love to do, what I get to do, and there's just some things where I don't have to do anymore. And one would be like checking Facebook, 100 times a day, or checking my Instagram account 100 times a day. I just don't have to do that. And before that, before watching all of his stuff, I really thought I had to. And then before watching all of his stuff too, I was really in a messy place as far as income and business-wise and being at home and, with my kids. And, the first thing I noticed was it was just so awesome. See, there's my ego, right? I had to stop there. Get out of here, man, it's just nuts. It is really awesome how you feel when you completely are working from where you want to be, where your truth is. Like your true being is in your center, is in when you're working from your heart. And you know that when you're working from your body, and your body can just feel it. Like your body can feel, right? Your mind and your body can work together. It just so happens that your mind tells you so many other things that you don't really want to listen to, right? So if you listen to your body, listen to your heart, listen to your truth, there's so much more happening that your awareness isn't even aware about. And I know that's too many awares in a sentence, but your body is telling you things that your mind doesn't really listen to. And if we listen to our body on so many more levels, if it feels good, that is a body experience. So you've heard of like out-of-body experiences. And yesterday I did a blog post about full body, actually it'd be today. Yeah, today is the blog post is coming out about full body movement experience. And that is a big deal because if you're moving in a full body movement, right? I know again that's a lot of moves. You are actually pretty close to experience an out-of-body experience. Like a full-body experience or an out-of-body experience is a big deal. But when it comes down to it, what are you doing? What are you doing to listen to your body? If you're not listening to your body, you should probably start figuring out what that looks like and what that feels like and keep moving. And if it hurts, obviously, be aware of that pain and muscle soreness and joint pain and all that fun stuff. That's a different story. But there's just so much happening within your body that if you are ignoring it, you really don't want to be going too far with that. You don't really want to ignore your body past the point of being inactive. And if something hurts, you don't want to ignore it. So there's a fine line, right? There's a fine line. But meeting somebody where they're at, being okay with where they're at, accepting where they're at in their journey is the big deal right now. Is the thing that there it is. There's ego. Ooh, I was close. I made it a solid 3 minutes without the ego coming in. But being 100% okay with all of what's going on when you're talking to somebody. I mean, especially your immediate family, I would say. My immediate family, I love my family. I love my mom and dad. And they have helped me so much throughout all of my life. I'm just coming to terms with what is going on all around me every day. So it happens. Oh, funny, air quality alert, reduced trips. What does that mean? The little sign on the freeway, which is hilarious. But yeah, so I mean, accepting everyone for who they are and where they're at on the journey, and being a human backo when things aren't that peachy, right? When things aren't that awesome. So how do I do that? And that's okay. So I'm asking myself so many questions, so many understandings, and just gaining some truth and knowledge and speaking that out right here, right now, to maybe get some kind of understanding of myself, to go, okay, don't let that in, don't let that hurt, don't take that upon myself, because I cannot control anybody else. I can only control myself and anything that's happening, right? So whether it's myself, whether I'm anybody I talk to, nobody has control over the circumstances, over whatever is going on. Like even myself, even just things that are happening, if nobody has control over those circumstances but me, right? I have control over my own circumstances. So if I'm limiting time to talk to people because I think they're going to be a certain way, then that's on me, right? That is completely on me. But I also am very aware of where I want my time to go. Like, I'm very aware on what kind of people that I want to be around. And sometimes it's not necessarily like you don't want to be around people, it's just that's your ego talking again. At that point, you don't know what you don't know, right? So a person could be having a good day where you just don't know it yet, right? You have no idea what's going on, and you just want to talk to somebody. You just want to talk to somebody. And, being a coach, being an exercise physiologist, it just kind of goes along with being a coach. Like, that's just what I am. I am a person who can listen and understand. But at the same time, as soon as you have the tools and the independence and the understanding, then you either use what I have or don't. And I think that's the biggest thing I'm going through right now, is if somebody's not using the tools that I give them, then that's on them, and I can't help them any further until they start changing. And I think that's really what it is I think I've separated myself from people who either want to help themselves or not. And even in my own family, there are times where I'm just like, I can't do anything for you. You have to do it yourself. And then it happens or it doesn't, right? Like, that's what it comes down to. It either happens or it doesn't. And it's a little heartbreaking some days, but it's okay, right? It's okay. I cannot control anybody else but me. And there's times where I think that during a day, night, whatever, right? I don't even know where I'm going anymore with this. I just, 18 minutes, that's not bad. 18 minutes where I'm realizing what time it is, as far as what's going on, as far as how this is working, how this is happening. It's just kind of cool. It's just kind of cool to know that every day this is helping. Every day this is getting me to where I can be myself and not worry about anything of what I say. And yes, you know what? I post it. I put it out there. Why? I don't know. And I love that I don't know. I just feel like it gives me some kind of accountability to myself. And I just move from a place of desperation to a place of inspiration. It is evolving out loud. It is really helping me become more in tune with my center, with myself. And as a dude, right, a lot of people are like, wow, okay, that's not very manly or whatever. I don't care about that. Like, I care about being me and operating from a place that I want to be at versus a place where I think everybody else would like me at. Like, I don't care. Like, I used to, post stuff and be like, oh my gosh, I need likes, comments, and shares, and now I don't really care. I really don't. Like, If anybody wants to like, comment, and share on anything that I'm doing, awesome. But really, if it comes from a place of truth, people are going to just like, comment, and share, with it. And that's what it's about. Like, I think I've also figured out, and I don't know, and I love that I don't know that this is true yet, but my blog is my baby. Like, it is coming to a point where it's like, cool. I'm getting some, not getting, but like, I'm gaining some understanding on what this all means, on what I'm doing, and what service I can provide. So when I post my blog posts, like I have workout of the day number 1, all the way up to 365, that's a utility. Like, I'm using those as a utility. The service that I bring to people is, here is 365 workouts. Here are 365 tries. Here are 365 ways to get a pattern going, to interrupt your current patterns. And I think the biggest part that we lose when we're working out is not necessarily, well, I don't know. I mean, it could be motivation, right? It very well could be motivation, but it also could be accountability and motivation, right? And it could be, I don't know. Like, that's where I'm at. Like, I'm to the next point of, now I understand why, why I post these workouts every day. And now, when you do that, you want attention brought to the blog site itself. And that's where I'm evolving out loud right now. I'm literally talking this out to figure out what it means, because when people go to my blog, it's a utility right now. It's funny because there's, everybody's worried about, how do you monetize your blog? Well, I'm getting there. I'm totally getting there. It's more or less, making customized workout of the days, customized WODs. Yeah, you know what? I can do that, which is fine. But is that my heart center? Is that my truth? No, not really, right? And to be real honest with myself, no. Do I want to make custom workout of the days for people? No. Because custom is fine, like I like custom, but here's the truth, right? Like, if you want a custom workout of the day, if you want custom workouts, you're gonna have to pay for those. Like, you're going to have to pay a lot of money for those, actually, because that means at that point you're willing to take yourself and your self-worth even higher than regular, right? Even higher than regular. So that's, for me, meeting you and being okay with where you're at. Like, that is the real truth of it, I think. So then, basically, it comes down to, what service do I provide for people to get to those workouts and actually do those? Because there are many, many, many workouts out there, okay? But I would venture out to say there isn't many like mine, because I do them with my children. Like, I do them in my home, and that's where they're created. They're created for, the intended use is to do them anywhere. And yes, are there anywhere workouts, right? Sure, but I think what I'm doing is different, because it comes down to, those posts are the utility. Those posts are the tool, right? So you use that as a tool, and what my service to you, what my service to people, is to make sure that you just that you're doing them. And how do I know you're doing them? Well, you're gonna comment on those posts, and then I'm gonna go and make sure that you're doing them. Don't you think that after 365 goes, if you had 365 tries, don't you think that you would probably figure out some kind of a pattern? If you did that, not perfectly, right? Like, I'm not looking for perfection. Like, if you committed yourself to 1 time a week, and you had 365 tries, if you had committed to yourself to 1 time a week for a full year, that's 52 consecutive tries. That's 100%. Like, that's once a week. Versus, how many times have you worked out in the last year, right? This is just a conversation that I have with people. Well, how many times have you consistently worked out? Never, right? I usually get, well, maybe, for a month, and then they stop, and then another month, or a week, and then they stop. But what if you committed yourself for a full year? A full year. For once a week. Do you think, right? Do you think by the time you got to week 8, week 9, that you might want to add in a workout? Okay, so if you started out at workout of the day number 1, and then week 2 was number 2, and week 3 was number 3. Okay, let's say you get all the way to 9, week 9, and you're on workout of the day number 9, and you're like, okay, I want to add in another time a week this week. Oh man, but I'm on week 9 and I'm on workout 9. What do I do? Well, don't you think that you could probably just go to workout of the day number 10? Yeah, you sure can, right? I mean, I don't want to sound condescending, but I mean, it's more or less, we overcomplicate things. We overcomplicate things really, really bad. They're not bad, but like, it's as simple as 1, 2, 3, right? So you're on week 9, let's say on Monday, you hit it out, and then you're like, Tuesday, you're starting to think, man, I can really add in another day. Okay, so Wednesday, then you're going to do workout of the day number 10, and then that's it. And then next Monday, you start at 11. So you have 365 of those. Can you imagine what it would be like if you just stuck with something for a year and then you just kept going? Because you'd have more than a year of workouts, because there's 365 of them, right? You can't tell me by the time you get to the end, there is really no end, because 365 is only a concept. It's only a concept. It's only by the time you get to the end are you going to then evolve into something more. That is a big deal. That is a huge deal. And that's what's going on in my mind. And that's what's going on where I am accepting people for where they're at. And just understanding what that means. If they want to do a workout of the day, if you want to do a workout of the day, then do it, right? You don't have to do a workout of the day every day. You can do a workout of the day once a week. You can do a workout of the day, heck, even once every other week, so like twice a month. That's still 24 consecutive workouts that you have put in your mind, and you committed to it, and you followed through. Don't you think if you worked out 12 times consecutively in whatever pattern that you set up and followed through, that maybe halfway through it you could probably conceptually add more to it and feel really good about it? Dare I say yes to that? Okay, dare I say yes to that? That is a big deal. That is a huge deal. So that is the offer that I have for you today. My offer is to commit to something. Commit to something. And don't give up, and do not walk away. And if you walk away, how many times will that person accept you? That's the question. How many times will it take for you to stop walking away? When do you get to that point where you're like, I am done. I am done walking away. I am done giving up. I decide to help myself. So there it is. Check out the blog, right? Head to jedcobernus.com/workout of the day. Workout of the day, right? Just like that. jedcobernus.com/workout of the day. And then you'll see all of them. You will see all of them. If you scroll down, or if you're on your phone, you're just going to swipe down, there will be numbers, right? If you want to start on the very first one, don't start at number 1 as far as at the box at the bottom, because that'll be like the very latest workout of the day. If you want to start at the very beginning, which that's what I recommend for everybody to do, is start at number 1, right? You'll go to the highest number at the bottom. Go to the highest number to find the lowest number of WOD. That's kind of funny to say out loud. But, yeah. Otherwise, if you're looking for a mentor, head to jedcobernus.com/mentorship and put your name and email in. And on the other side, I will see you to help you make your dreams become reality. Because that's what I do. I'm the executioner of life coaching, right? The executioner of coaching. Because I do not give up until, right? I do not give up until I've figured it out. I execute on everything that I do until I figure it out. I try and try and try. And I'm starting to really love the word try. I used to hate it, but I started to love the word try. Love the word try, because it comes down to, if you're not trying, that's it. Like you're doing, right? I mean, there's a difference between trying and doing, but like, I'm loving the word try, because some people just aren't at the do yet, right? Some people just aren't at the doing. And I'm an expert at trying, because that's what I've been doing my whole life. I've been trying. And then before I even realize it, it just becomes doing. So if you want that, let me know. And as always, if you're willing to change from the neck up, you will change from the neck down. I believe in you. Now it's your turn to start believing in yourself. Stay safe out there. Stay blessed. Bye for now.